Hey everybody, how are you? And welcome to my Tuesday and my very dirty office. I've got stuff laying all over the place. It has been quite a day, I have to say. I started at the dermatologist office where she took a chunk out of my foot, and I left straight from there and went to a root canal. And I am doing the Facebook Live now because I just got feeling back in half of my mouth. And yeah, that wasn't going to be pretty if I did my Facebook Live on schedule, which is usually about noon. So I'm having this kind of week, and you want to know why I'm having this kind of week? Because I'm going on vacation. And I'm going on vacation at the latter part of this week, and you know how everything happens the week you're about to go. And vacation is what we're going to be talking about today in this strategy session. Because as I was thinking about getting ready to go to vacation, I was having a conversation. Last week, I met a coaching client last week for coffee, and she is this really interesting woman. She had been in sales for much of her life, but most of them in the corporate America world. She found herself with 3 children and a husband that had run off, and she had made the decision that she wanted to go into real estate. She had the skills, she had the dedication, she had the mojo, she had all of those things. And because she needed flexibility, she made the decision to switch her sales skills over to real estate, which I totally get. Now, this is what she wasn't prepared for. Although she'd had years of inside sales, she was not prepared for the pace at which she was going to be working as a real estate agent. And I totally understand that. We work at this whirlwind pace, and she had been working at such a hard pace that she was worn out, and she was making some decisions that were a little different. They were a little edgy, if the truth be known. And so I said to her, maybe you ought to take a few days off. And her reaction to me was priceless. She was like, "What? Are you kidding me? How on earth could you even suggest that I take a few days off? Have you lost your mind?" And I mean, she just was incensed that I would even suggest it. So let's talk for a second about taking a little bit of time off or a few days off or a vacation, etc. And first, I want to talk about why you might want to do it. And then number 2, I would like to discuss how you can make this kind of pain-free, where you actually could relax and take the time off. And when you get back, how can you immediately jump right back in the fold and not miss any time from the ramp-up stage? And if you have been in real estate for any period of time, you know the ramp-up stage. The ramp-up stage is that week following when you completely lose your mojo, when you are struggling to get back into the groove and you just cannot get yourself going. That is what that is all about. So I also have for you at the end of this a checklist of things you need to take care of before you go. And these are not the normal kinds of things. These are the things that a real estate agent needs to know before you go on vacation. So let's go ahead and start this conversation. First, I want to talk about why go on vacation. Well, now the very first reason is your body needs rest. People do not understand how physically demanding being a real estate agent is. They think that we sit at a desk or sit in our car. They do not see us lug around signs and mallet the signs into the yard. I live in the South, and this time of year when it gets good and dry, you are banging those things in. They don't understand how many times we get in and out of cars, how many times we go up and down the steps, how many times we wrangle dogs, how many times we do those things. And so it really is a physically exhausting kind of profession, not to mention the stress of it and how that physically impairs us. I was reading a book the other day about how stress physically changes your body and how much weaker you become as a result of it. And I did an experiment one day with a man who used to be like Mr. North Carolina. He is enormous. He just is a huge man. And he's not huge fat. He is bust muscle in every bit of his body. And I did the experiment with him of standing him up in front of the group, asking him to hold his arm out like that, and asking him to think about something very positive. And then while he was thinking about something positive, I came along and I laid my hand on his arm and I pushed it down. And I tried to push it down and it wasn't budging. He was so strong. I could have hung off his arm and it wasn't coming down. And then I asked him to repeat that same process, except this time what I asked him to do is think about a time where he had failed. And you could see his face change. You could see his face change and he was thinking about it. And then I told him I was going to come and I was going to attempt to pull down his arm. And this big, strong man who I could have swung off his arm before, while he was thinking about something negative, I could easily bring his arm down. That is what stress does to our physical body. Now, secondly, it is widely known that when we allow our brains to rest, that is very restorative for us. It allows our brain to heal. It allows our brain to percolate. It allows great ideas and creativity to start coming up in our brain. That's what daydreaming does. You know, sitting on the beach daydreaming, that allows you to access that creativity. I got the honor of visiting one time Edison's winter home on the west coast of Florida. It was out right outside of Fort Myers. And they talked about how he accessed his creativity and how he used to lay on a bench, a piano bench, and put a tin can on one side and a tin can on the other. And he would lay down with 2 apples in his hands. And he would lay there. And as he started drifting off to sleep, he would allow the apple to come out and hit the can, which would wake him up, and he would write down immediately what was on his mind, because he knew that state of just letting your mind go is where creativity comes from. Now you might say, all right, so what? Well, let me tell you, so what? Creativity is a big part of being a real estate agent, and understanding that and learning how to access that creativity on a regular basis can be really important to the growth of your business. So that's one of the really big reasons. Let's see if I forgot anything. It has been proven that when your brain is resting, that some of the skills that you have been trying to learn, they deepen while your brain is resting. That your brain is over there going, choo, chicken, you know, and that your brain actually is learning things and deepening skills while you are resting. All right, so this, by the way, these things assume that you are actually on vacation, mentally on vacation, physically on vacation, versus pretending like you're on vacation, aka you went, but you're not really taking a vacation. Now, the big question is, how do you put your business in order so you can actually get away, so your business can actually continue to run? And third, how do you not lose your mojo? So I have got 6 steps. Actually, I think there are 7 steps. I've got 7 steps that I'm going to talk with you about of how to be able to accomplish that. Step number 1. You need to find another agent. You need to find an agent to cover for you. Now, you might go, oh, I know, but there's nobody who can cover for me. There's nobody who will do it the way I can do it. Yeah, you need to get over yourself. Somebody can do it the way that you're going to do it. So how are you going to find that person? If someone does not immediately come to mind, go to your broker in charge and say, look, I have got to get a vacation. give me some idea of who might be able to cover for me. You probably need to pick someone who has a common style that you have, right? And when you go and you talk to them about it, in addition to you will cover for them on their next vacation, you need to go ahead and lay out the ground rules specifically. Don't just say, hey, you mind covering for me? You need to take care of this specifically. You need to talk about exactly what you need them to do. Do you want them to check your voicemail? Do you want them to check your email? Do you want them to call listings? What do you want them to do? In addition, you've got to make some decisions of whether you're going to offer any monetary compensation for this. Things like, are you going to, if somebody calls and they want to see a house, are you going to pay them for going and showing that house? How about if somebody, you want somebody to attend a closing, or you need someone to attend an inspection, or you need somebody to go to a walkthrough, or let's say that somebody has called, they go and show houses, and now they want to write a contract. How are you going to deal with that? And you need to be very specific and work that out. Work that out with them. Talk to your broker in charge about what she has seen that is common in all of this. What has she seen that people like, that are fee arrangements that they have found in the past. Go ahead and get this figured out. And after you sit down and talk with this person, and after you lay out all the plans, then what you need to do is you need to go ahead and turn around and put it in writing so everybody knows the score. And nobody will have any disappointment. Everybody knows what they're going to do and how they're going to get paid for doing it. All right, that's number one. Step number two. You need to call your prospects and your listings and your active clients. I used to go on vacation clandestine. I used to be secret vacation where I never wanted anybody to know I wasn't there for them. And that was kind of stupid. I need to call each one of them, each one of your active clients or your active listings, and you need to say to them, I'm getting away with my family, but this is how I'm making sure to cover you. This is how I want to make sure there's no interruption in the service. My team, and call them that, my team is going to be here working for you. This is who it is. This is how you can get in touch with them if there's anything at all that you need. And then, of course, you need to follow that up in writing. Sit down and write out a script for that before you do it. Okay? All right, so change your email with an autoresponder. Change your voicemail and figure out text autoresponders. I Googled it before I came on to look at it, to figure out who could be up there, who did that. And how did you do that? Because I don't know how to do it, and I'm about to go on vacay, so I wanted to know. And come to find out that it can depend on your service, and it depends on your phone. So Google vacation autoresponder for text and figure it out for your phone and for your carrier to figure that out. And go ahead and put that on autoresponder and let them know where you're going to be. All right, here comes number 4. Notify your family or your friends or whoever it is that you are traveling with if you are planning to work when you are planning to do that. So this is what I mean. What I mean is, for example, I am planning to work first thing in the morning for an hour. That's when I'm going to check my messages. I'm going to check in with my assistant. I'm going to check my email as well. That's when I am going to do that. And then I'm going to check again when I get back in from the day of being out all day. I'm going to spend a few minutes where I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and notify them that I am going to be working from this time to this time. I'm very lucky. I get up a lot earlier than my husband does. So I am going to be working from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. That's my hour. And then I'll be working again from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And that's when I'm going to be doing it. And the rest of the time, my phone is going to be away. My iPad is going to be away. I'm not going to be doing any work outside of those times. And I'm telling them that so they will hold me accountable to that because I need the rest. All right, next. I need for you to go ahead and finish any of your completed tasks. So there is a psychological effect that I can't pronounce. It's Ovsiahkina, and I am not going to embarrass myself trying to pronounce it. But what happens is, if you go on vacation with an uncompleted task, it continues to enter your conscious. It continues to float up into your head at bad times, like in the middle of the night, and you're going, oh. I remember one time that I did that, and I went on vacation, and I ignored it for the first few days, and then by the end of the vacation, I was just purely worried about that task. So go through your files real quickly, look to make sure that all the incomplete tasks are done. And the minute you find that you didn't do one, give it to the person who's covering for you to get that completed so you can get that worry out of your mind. All right, the next one, and that is prepare to jump back in immediately. So this is a problem that when you get back, you're pining. You're pining for vacation. You had such a great time that you're having trouble getting back in. So go ahead and get that list ready. Have your to-do list for as soon as your first day back. Have your pipeline results, your pipeline task sitting there. Have it all ready. So I'm already starting to work on mine, on what I'm going to be doing as soon as I get back. You know, we have a program called Slay the Roller Coaster, and Slay the Roller Coaster teaches you how to do priority management systems. By the way, if you've never checked that out, it's like $7, and so it's super cheap. So go take a look at that. I'll post it underneath here if that's something you're interested in. You just saw the worksheet from Slay is the reason I'm mentioning it. And so make sure to have that ready so you can jump right back in and you won't miss any of that time. Now, lastly, and maybe one of the most important steps, you've got to have a process to catch those ideas that come to you during vacation. Ideas will float up to you while you're sitting on that beach. And if you don't grab a hold of them right there and put them somewhere, you will have a struggle with it. You can do it all kinds of ways. I like writing them down. Some people will go and put them on their phone, record on their phone, find your record button. It's called voice memos. iPhones, I know where they are, but I don't know on anything else. But go ahead and record those, or always have a notepad with you, or have something so you can go and capture those ideas, because when your brain's in that relaxed state, those are the best ideas. So make sure to go and have a place that's organized so when you get home, only thing you have to do is pull out your notepad or pull out your phone, and you can go, okay, here were some of the things that I thought of. That will allow you to capture those great business ideas that you're going to be having as soon as your brain starts relaxing. You know, I like to meditate. I'm a meditator person. I don't know if you call it that, but that's who I am. And, you know, one of the things that I liken this to is standing beside a lake. And let's just say that the wind is really howling. And when the wind's really howling and you're looking over a lake, there's all of this current. And you can stand on the side of the lake and you can look down in the lake, but you can't see the bottom. You can't see through the water. So when the lake is perfectly calm, however, you can stand on the shore and you can see a pretty good distance. That's what's happening to your brain. And as soon as you start relaxing, you can see pretty deep in and you can start capturing some great things that are good for you, your growth, and good for your business. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to, as soon as I get off of here, I am going to post the giveaway. I'm going to go in and give you the checklist for when you're about to go on vacation. Here are the things that you need to do to get ready. And I'm going to post that link to Slay since I mentioned it, so I'm going to put it down here in the notes. All right, I will be back again before I go on vacation this weekend. I'll be back on Thursday to check in with you. I would love to hear from you what you do to get ready for vacation and to make sure you actually can relax. So make sure to go down there and post those for me. I'll see you in a couple of days.